Hello, fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today for this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. WIP, W-I-P, stands for Work in Progress, and this is mine. You are welcome and encouraged to go grab whatever you are working on and work alongside while I chat, or alternatively, you can treat this as a podcast and just listen while I chat. Today I am working on my Craftibly kit called Moonbeam. This is one of my artist series. It is around, as you can see, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm going to be working on this one today. Let me move things around a bit. Let me zoom into where I'm going to be working, and I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. Okay, I'm going to be working in this section here, and we'll see how it goes. I'm actually super loving the tip that Jess gave me with the seam ripper for cutting all of the canvas where I have it washi taped to section it off. But I gotta say, even though it makes some really amazing Instagram pictures, I don't know that I love it for me. And the reason is because I get distracted very easily. The whole reason I section off my diamond painting is because I drive myself crazy if I can see everything, because then it's like, okay, I finished this here. Oh, I want to finish this butterfly wing. Oh, I want to finish this flower or whatever. And so instead of just concentrating on the section that I'm doing, so I personally find it easier for my brain if I can't actually see the rest of the canvas. So for me, even though I like it and it makes great Instagram pictures and it's a lovely tip, I don't know if I'm going to use it for everything. I'm sticking with it for this one just because I kind of started this way, so that's how I'm going to finish it. But yeah, don't know if I love it for everything. Okay, I've started my timer. Let me pour out some drills here. Somebody made a comment about me pouring drills into my tray. Is that, like, I typically cut that out when I'm editing because I feel like it makes a bunch of noise. Is that something that's missing? Do people want to see me pouring drills in my tray? If so, here you go. I actually bought a new tray. Well, I bought a couple of new trays, but I bought this one and another one from Bella Art de Nicole. So if you haven't tried them, try them out. I really like their 2.0 trays. I like the ones that have this old school pour spout here actually in the tray rather than the ones that have the pour spout at the end. Those for me are just too fiddly and the spouts fall out. They fall out too often. So for me, yeah, I just don't use them as much. All right, so there was me pouring drills in my tray. Today I'm using my Everlasting tin placer from Everlasting Tips, the lady out of Australia that basically kind of started the whole steel tip craze. I love it. I especially love using it for rounds. It spaces everything out nicely. So yeah, using it for this one. And I'm absolutely loving this one. Well, I'll save that for my diamond painting update, I guess. Life update. What is going on in my life? Well, it's been cold and rainy all week. The weather has not been great. We're actually expecting a winter storm this weekend. Supposed to start Sunday night. I have a feeling it may start before then. I was actually telling my daughter Friday to go get all of her running around done on Saturday so that she didn't have to be out and about during all the bad weather. Like I said, it's supposed to start Sunday night, but she actually said she doesn't have to work on Monday, which actually made me feel a lot better because that way I don't have to worry about her driving in the bad weather. My husband and I are taking bets on whether or not they get called out for storm work because they're saying that we're going to get a bunch of ice. And whenever we get a bunch of ice, we always get a bunch of power outages because the ice, of course, is heavy on the tree branches, and then the tree branches fall, and then the power goes out because the tree branches fall on the power lines and take the power lines out. So we'll see whether or not he gets called out to work. Anyway, so yeah, bad weather coming in. We're supposed to get, the last forecast I saw said between 1/2 to 1.5 inches of ice. So yeah, not looking great. There's a chance maybe it will get cold enough that it will turn to snow rather than ice, but we'll see. Ice is much more common around here than snow for us. And I feel like, again, I think I said this last week, I feel like we just skipped fall. Like we had a couple of nice fall days, and then now we're into winter. We had our air conditioner on until Friday night, and then Friday night the low was supposed to be in the teens, and the high on Saturday was only in the 30s. And like we had 80 degree weather last week. So yeah, just kind of crazy. We didn't walk on Wednesday because it was raining, which is good because we have not had nearly enough rain. So I'm not going to complain about the rain, but just wasn't nearly enough. I mean, some places got way more rain than we did here. So I guess that's good, and it actually rained here a bit on Saturday. So maybe it'll turn to snow because it was pretty darn cold Saturday. So we've had to turn our heater on, which is not my favorite thing in the world, but I told my husband, he's like, "What do you want to set it at?" I'm like, "We're going to keep it pretty low." Like, I think we normally keep it around 68 or so, but I'm going to turn it down to probably 65, 67, somewhere in there, because I don't want to pay all the money they want for gas. Like I said, we're still paying off our huge bill from a couple of winters ago when we had that super cold snap, and I don't want to get stuck paying another bill like that again, because like I said, ever since then I keep track on our city bills when we get them of what the current price is, and it's just been going up the last couple of months. And of course, it's not like it's going to go down now that it's winter and everybody needs gas to heat their homes. So we're going to be better about charging up our little solar charger so that we can not feel bad about the extra electricity we're going to use to run our little space heaters. And we're going to put our electric blanket back on our bed so we can turn the heat down a bit at night. I need to check with my son and see if he wants one for his bed. He's in the basement, so he stays pretty warm. And once he closes his door, he runs his computer a lot. So between that, the heat of the computer running and him closing the door, he's usually pretty toasty in there. And he runs hot. We went out for our walk Friday, and it was like, I think it was 40 degrees, but feels like 30 something with the wind chill, and he was wearing shorts. So yeah, clearly it doesn't bother him as much as it bothers me. So that's the weather report from my neck of the woods, I guess. My sister came over last weekend, sometime this week, I can't remember. She came over at some point and picked up a bunch of the stuff that I had set aside for her to go through. She actually took more than I thought she would, so I'm happy about that. She ended up going through a bunch of our vinyl records and taking some of those. She took all the silver stuff that belonged to my grandmother, and I actually got to give her the Gnome Trio kit that I had made for her. I was going to give it to her a while ago, and I just had never made it over. She lives in a different city, had never made it over there to give it to her. And I was going to wait and give it to her at Christmas, but it's a Christmas painting. I'd like her to have time to display it. So I figured this way she'll have time to put it up in her house and actually have it on display and get some enjoyment out of it this Christmas instead of having to wait until next Christmas. Plus this way I will get to see it, whereas if I gave it to her, at Christmas and she put it out next year, I might not be here next year. I think that's our plan at the moment, is that we're going to move sometime next summer. My youngest doesn't know if he's going to for sure be done with school. He might have to take one or two summer classes, so we'll see. But yeah, that's the goal anyway, by sometime next summer. Let's see, what else happened? Well, my son broke his headphones. So we found out they're actually still under warranty, but we have to send them to someplace in like Massachusetts to get them fixed. So we went ahead and bought another pair for him so that he has something to use. The headphones he had started, it only plays out of one ear, and they're wired, so like the whole wire has to be replaced or something. So he's got another pair to keep him happy until the repaired pair gets back. And then either we'll switch them out and my husband will take the new ones, or My husband will take the repaired ones. We'll just have to wait and see. So we sent those off, and we'll be getting those fixed for him. Hubby had another late night this week. We were actually just talking about it yesterday, and they were talking about it at his work as well, that they have not had a full week of work since they started working this new job. They were working 4-day work weeks, and they finished that job, which was in a different town. They moved to another town, and it was supposed to be 5/10s. So 10 hours a day, 5 days a week. But the place that they're working, they are redoing a bunch of power lines that supply businesses. And so every single week since they started working there, they have had an outage that they have to do at night because the businesses can't be without power during the day. So pretty much since they started working this new job, they're still only working 4 days a week, still getting their 50 hours in, but only doing it over 4 days because they work, one day and then work all the way around the clock. Like again on, I think it was Thursday this week. So he worked all day Thursday, and he didn't get home until like 4 o'clock in the morning on Friday again. So he had Friday off, which is nice for us because then we go run a bunch of our errands and things. And was actually nice this weekend because the storm was coming in. So I was like, well, let's go do all of our running around on Friday and get that all done so that if the bad weather does hit, we don't have to get out and go do, groceries or whatever, and we'll be all set. We went and got all of our groceries and everything and got all of that done. So I'm feeling pretty good. We're just cozy and snuggled up at home. We my husband is currently in the kitchen cooking all the yummy things. We like to do like a turkey dinner on Sundays a lot. We're going to be trying out for some reason, I was reading a book and they were talking about Yorkshire puddings, and I, for whatever reason, became obsessed. So I've seen Yorkshire puddings all over the place. It's not actually a pudding, for those of you who don't know. It's like, people said it's like a popover. It basically looks like a big kind of souffle roll is the way that I would describe it. They sound pretty simple to make, but there's got to be some trick to them because they look delicious. And if they're that simple, why isn't everyone making them? So we're going to try our hand at those. My husband has been wanting to try them for a while. And I'm like, well, why did you never tell me? I'm totally up for it. I may have to go look up some gluten-free recipes because gluten seems to be a thing that triggers my knee. I'm okay as long as I don't do a ton of it. Like we have like keto bread that we buy for bread that we eat. So I can do that. But I do have to be careful. If I eat too much of it, I can cause a flare. But anyway, we're gonna just try the regular recipe first and see how that turns out. I can't wait. I love bread. I would eat bread all day, every day if I could. I know I can't, but if I could, I would. So we're gonna do that. He's gonna make a turkey dinner. We also spent some time Saturday. He found a recipe for this chicken thing, which is delicious. It's not really a dip. The recipe that we found was a lady that was making it to be like a burrito filling, but I thought it was too soupy to make a good burrito filling. So it's a crock pot recipe and it's really simple. It's just chicken and a can of salsa and a can of some kind of queso, whatever you like, whether you like the fake nacho cheddar cheese. We buy like Tostitos or something like that, the queso blanco or something like that that's just in a jar. Pour that in, some taco seasoning, and a can of corn. Now, my sister's going to leave out the corn because she hates corn, but I actually think it adds a little bit of sweetness to it and makes it taste really good. And then, of course, my husband and my son add like chili pepper flakes and sriracha or Tabasco or Cholula or something like that to give it a little more heat. I don't like super spicy things. So they leave it mild for me and then they add in stuff. But you let it cook in the slow cooker for like 6 to 8 hours, something like that. And it's just so good. I pour it over nacho tortilla chips. So good. I told him I wanted him to make that this weekend. If we make it on Saturday, then while we're watching football and stuff, we can just kind of nosh on it. My sister tried it. She liked it. She called Friday. Can I have the recipe for that again? I'm like, it's not really a recipe. You just kind of dump all this stuff in a crock pot and let it cook. Maybe for her that's a recipe, I guess. She's a better cook than I am, but she doesn't like to cook any more than I do. I think that stems from when we were younger. My mom and dad both worked, and we got home from school before they got home from work. So my sister and I had to take turns cooking. Whoever wasn't cooking had to do the dishes, and I would much rather do dishes than cook, even today. Anyway, so he's making that. We're going to have he made beef stew, and we're going to have our turkey dinner and try our Yorkshire puddings. I'll have to take some pictures after we make them and post them and see what you guys think. I watched a Jamie Oliver video on how to make them. I mean, like I said, it seems pretty simple, so I don't know why. Maybe because it's an English thing, I guess. Maybe that's just not a thing here. Or maybe people make popovers. Like, I don't make popovers either, so. But this just seems super simple. It's just, what did I see? The recipe, it's eggs, flour, milk, some salt. That's it. So it seems super simple. Okay, what else? Oh, you guys, did you see that YouTube has new updates? So supposedly, there's the little button down at the bottom. Keep your eye on that, because supposedly and this, I don't have to do anything for this. YouTube is just supposed to figure it out. That if the YouTuber says, hey, like and subscribe to my video, around the little subscribe button, there's like a little rainbowy kind of thing that's supposed to happen. Now, I have not seen that happen when I have watched other people and they have done that. So you guys let me know if you saw it. Also, in addition to that little animation, when you click the subscribe button, there's supposed to be like little rainbow sparkles. Now, I did try that, and I did get that to happen on other people's channels. So let me know if that worked here as well. And then I think they said there's supposed to be some sort of animation that is also supposed to happen for the like button. I didn't quite understand, and it never did happen for me. So I don't know if there's more sparkles if you hit the like button. Something about there has to be a gap in time between when you talk about, hitting the subscribe button, and then you have to wait like at least 5 minutes. Although that seems excessive, because a lot of YouTube videos aren't even 5 minutes long. I don't know, but there had to be a space of time in between mentioning that and the like button for all the animations to work the way they were supposed to. Like I said, the only fancy animation I got to work for me was when I would hit the subscribe button, I would see the cool little sparkles. But other than that, I never saw anything else. So yeah, leave me a comment below and let me know if you saw anything. I mean, I guess cool, but I kind of don't understand the point. Also, because if you're watching it full screen, you can't see it anyway. So I'm not sure. Like, my husband and I, we don't watch TV. All we ever do is stream. So like when we're watching YouTube on our TV, it's full screen. So we don't ever see the like or subscribe buttons or any of that. So I'm like, I don't know how useful this actually is. Is that something people wanted from YouTube? Like, were people demanding, hey, I want some fancy animations for the button when I do something? Do they think it makes people more likely to hit the button? I'm always curious when they make changes like that, like what the reasoning behind it is. Is there anything else going on? I told you about the weather. I told you guys I bought my first Christmas presents a week ago. So I've got those for my nephew. So I was asking my kids, what do you want? My daughter was like, okay, I'll get my list together. She lives on her own, so she always has things that she could use. But I asked my son, and he's like, Mom, I don't have anything. He's like, I barely scraped up a list last year. And it's hard with him because his birthday is in December. So he has a birthday and Christmas, and all of us trying to buy for him. And I said, so do you just want cash? I mean, I'm fine if that's what he wants, but it just seems kind of boring. I mean, that's what I'm giving my nephew, my other nephew too, but he's graduating college. He's going to be, well, eventually, not yet. He's going to live at home for a while, but eventually he's going to be having his own apartment and stuff. So he'll want to, furnish that and all that kind of stuff. But my son was like, Mom, I can't think. And I'm like, he's like, well, I don't need anything. And I said, well, I'm glad that you don't need anything, but is there anything you want? And he's like, no, there's really nothing I want either. And I'm like, again, torn. On the one hand, I feel like I'm doing a good job as a parent that he isn't wanting for anything, but isn't there something he wants? Well, then he decided that what he wanted was a new computer, which I've been trying to get him to replace his computer for years, literally. Now, we've upgraded. He has a PC, and we've upgraded things on it over the years that he's had it, but it's probably 8 years old. So yeah, he could do with an upgrade. So I said, well, let me set my husband on that, because my husband loves shopping for that kind of stuff. He shops for it even when we don't need anything. I'm like, so odds are he probably has something already picked out. And sure enough, I told my husband, and within a couple of hours, he's like, well, what about this one? And I said, well, my son has some definite ideas on what he wants and what he doesn't want. So you talk to him and work out with him if that's what he wants or not. Because I don't want to spend, a bunch of money replacing this computer, and then we end up with something he still hates. So they're arguing over chips and video cards and drivers and what CPU and all this kind of stuff, which I think is hilarious. I have my laptop and my Mac Mini, and I'm good. I don't need any more than that. I actually was thinking about getting rid of my Mac Mini and just going to my laptop. I haven't done that yet, but we'll see. I actually don't use my laptop as much as I should. That was part of me thinking, well, if I got rid of my Mini, then that would force me to use the laptop more. I'm also currently fighting with myself about whether or not I need to learn how to use DaVinci Resolve for editing rather than iMovie, and I just can't make myself do it yet. I like iMovie. I think it's because I'm comfortable with iMovie. I mean, I've used it since I started YouTube, and it's pretty simple and intuitive. It doesn't do all the fancy things that I could do with Resolve, but my videos are not videos, like most YouTubers. A crafting channel is different than a lot of these automotive or lifestyle type videos channels. So I don't really need, to use DaVinci, but I feel like maybe it would let me level up some things. And then I thought, well, I default so easily on the Mini to iMovie because that's what I'm used to. Maybe if I was using my laptop more, I could make myself learn DaVinci. I know enough to be dangerous with DaVinci, and that's pretty much it. But, if we're going to have some additional YouTube channels, which I would like to do once we move, then I probably do need to up my editing game a bit. So that's on my maybe plan for personal goals for next year. I think I've talked enough about my regular life. Let's jump into my diamond painting life. First, before I forget, did anybody buy any of the new releases from Diamond Art Club? I didn't. I was only really tempted by one of them. There were a couple of cute spanglers, but I already have a bunch of spanglers that I haven't done. And I certainly wasn't interested in the giant one that was like the castle. I mean, it's pretty and I like it, but I'm not up for a canvas that big. I thought about a couple of the owl, the rabbit, the raccoon, the fox. Those were all kind of similar. Thought they were all cute. Really thought about the little bunny or the little raccoon, but I just don't want to do big backgrounds like that. Those were not appealing to spend so much time doing multi-placing on all of those. So I didn't get any of those. I don't like the gothic stuff, so I didn't look at any of that. I'm trying to remember what else there was. The puppies and the little cats were cute, but just wasn't in the mood for one of those. Although maybe I should have for DP for pets next year. I need to remember to think ahead for that. The one that I was really tempted to get, and if If it hasn't sold out and it's still available by the time Black Friday rolls around, I might get it as well. And that was the Christmas tree one that was the seashells, the like beach Christmas tree thing. I thought that was a really interesting take on Christmas, the beachy theme of it. I just really like it. But I don't know, that was why I didn't get some of the other ones as well, because they were kind of Christmassy. And it was like, I don't really want to do another Christmas kit. I mean, I did the gnomes for my sister. And, you know, for me, like I'd want to do them before now so that I would have them done. I mean, I guess now you would still have time to get them finished for Christmas if you started on one right away. But I already have pretty much the rest of the year planned out for me. So I just didn't get anything. But I'm curious if anybody else did. If you got one of them, which ones did you get? You can leave a comment below, or you can share in the Facebook group. You guys, the Facebook group is growing. I'm so super happy. I thought I would never get to 200 people in my group, and we're almost at 1,000. So I'm super stoked about that. I can't believe that. I try to post in there so that it you know, there's stuff in there for you guys to see. But, you know, everyone feel free to post your questions, or I would love personally to see all the stuff that you guys are working on. I try to post kind of my work in progress pictures and that sort of thing. If I'm working on, like I've posted quite a few pictures of this one because the drills are so stinking gorgeous in this one. So I've been working on this one. I abandoned my 02. Well, I guess I shouldn't say abandoned. I shelved it for a while, I guess. The drills were really getting to me and frustrating me because I felt like I was spending all of my time picking through the drills because there were so many bad ones. Then when they were on the canvas, they were gappy and I just wasn't happy with the way it was turning out. And I finally just decided, okay, I'm wasting valuable diamond painting time on a diamond painting that is just frustrating me. So I'm going to put it away and I'm going to work on one that I want to work on. And so I pulled out the Craftibly because I really wanted to work on this one. And I got to say, I have not been disappointed. I am so stinking happy to be working on this one. It's pretty. I love the colors. The drills are awesome. I'm just having way more fun finishing this one. So I think that was a kind of a lesson for me. I needed to be like, yes, I need to be working on the ones that make me happy and not spending time on this hobby doing things that make me miserable. I mean, there's some benefit to that because YouTube's algorithm loves when people do things that, you know, get screwed up. Oh, I messed up this diamond painting. Oh, I screwed up my car. Oh, I did. Failures are big on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing something different with that, but for now, I'm not going to work on it. Now, that was going to be the 02 was going to be one of my artist series, so I had to figure out what else I was going to do. So I'm going to do this one. This one was on my artist series, and that leaves me 2 more to finish my 20 for the year, and I really want to make that goal, and I just put those in the wrong spot. Oh, you guys. I forgot to bring in my tweezers, but my seam ripper works pretty good. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh, so since I'm not going to be doing the 02, this one is on my artist series, the one I'm working on right now. So I have that one, so that means I need to do 2 other ones. And I'm going to be doing my Flower Crazy, which I just opened a couple days ago. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. I love that one too. I'm hoping that one's going to turn out to be just as enjoyable as this one. And then for my 3rd one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish my Oraloa sneak peek that I did a little bit ago. And that's the Coral Canyon one, because I actually made a decent start on it. And again, I gotta say, I love the Oraloa square drills. They're just really amazing to work with. There's not a huge amount of trash. I mean, there's some trash with the dark colors, of course, but you get that with any company. And it's just turning out so well. The drills fit so nicely together and it looks really good. So I'm going to finish that one. And assuming that I get all three of those done, this one, Flower Crazy, and the Coral Canyon one done by the end of the year, that will be my 20 for my artist series, which makes me happy. You know, these aren't the 20 that I set out to finish at the beginning of the year, but I'm really taking to heart everybody's advice that as long as I finish the goal, even if it isn't quite in the way I intended, that's all good too. So yeah, I'm going to finish it. It's not going to quite be the way that I intended, but I am going to finish it, and that's a win. I have been looking at my goals for next year, and I'm actually really excited about next year. I mean, I'm always happy to set goals and things, but I think last year I was kind of struggling to figure out, you know, what can I do for some goals. This year, I'm super excited about them. I think it's going to make the year fun for me, which in turn, I hope will make the year fun for you. And I'm excited that I'm going to be doing some really awesome diamond paintings. So there's that. And I'm trying to change things up a little bit just to make it more interesting. So hopefully you guys will come along for the ride and see how I do. And if you want to make any goals, or if you want to follow along with me and do them with me, or if you just want to watch and see how I do, it's all good. So I think I'm pretty much where I want to be as far as goals go for next year. And then I was like, okay, I've got to stop thinking about next year because I need to concentrate and finish this year, right? This year isn't done yet. So what am I going to do this year? I've already shared, you know, what I'm going to do for my artist series. I'm on track, I think, for my diamond painting hours. I think, going to be okay with my budget. I really hope between Dreamer Designs and Oraloa and Diamond Art Club and a few other places, maybe Bella Art Diamonds and a couple other places, are going to have some really awesome Black Friday sales and some new kits. So I can get together a list of this is what I want, because I really do want to spend some money on Black Friday. I've got a decent chunk of my budget left, and I would love to spend it on some amazing diamond paintings. So, you know, looking at my goals for 2023 this year, like I said, I think I'm on track for most of those. And we're almost at the end of October, which means that DP for Vets is right around the corner. So I hope everybody is getting ready for that. Check out the description box below. I will have the entry form link. I already have lots of people signed up, but I would love to see more of you. I will be doing a video later this week with all of the official rules and all of the nonsense that I'm required to do by YouTube and all the other places. So everybody can get signed up for that. I've already got my 2 kits that I'm going to be doing for it kitted up. I may do some additional ones, but we'll see. 2 at the moment with everything else that I have going on seems kind of ambitious. So hopefully, you know, I'll get everything done. So that is right around the corner, DP for Vets. Hashtag DP for Vets 2023. So be sure you tag me on anything you're doing on social media. And speaking of that, I want to shout out another sponsor, and that is Bella Art Diamonds. Bella Art Diamonds is a veteran-owned business, and they were generous enough to send me 2 of their kits. And the 2 kits that they sent me, the artist is a veteran himself. So I'm super stoked to have it. The canvases are gorgeous. So one is going to be going in the final prize package, and then I think I'm going to use the other one in a weekly giveaway. So make sure you get those entry forms filled out, because the entry form is what gets you entered in the weekly giveaways. I have some pretty amazing things that I'm going to be giving away, and I'll be talking more about that when I do the launch video. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss the launch video. I'm excited, you guys. I'm super excited for DP for Vets this year. I can't wait to see how it goes. I can't wait to give away some of these awesome prizes. And yeah, just excited in general. So speaking of that, if any of you lovely folks have a little extra cash laying around and would like to help defray the cost of me sending out all of these awesome items, that would be great. There are links to my PayPal and my Ko-fi below in the description box. Any donations are hugely appreciated, not required, of course, but hugely appreciated. And that lets me use that money towards postage to send out all of the prizes. Like I said, I am going to be doing the final prize package as well as weekly prizes. So I will have a prize going out every week in addition to the final prize package. So anything that would help defray the cost of that would be, like I said, hugely appreciated. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, guys, I've gone round and round with this in my brain so many times that I finally just decided I'm just going to do it. I can't make everybody happy. I understand that. So I'm just going to do what I've decided to do, and somebody's going to be unhappy. I can't help that. Okay. So you guys remember, I don't know, last WIP and Chat or a couple WIP and Chats ago, I asked you guys what to do with all of my extra diamond painting supplies. I really am trying to go through my house bit by bit and get rid of things that I do not want to schlep all the way to Canada. I have a bunch of diamond painting supplies that I don't use, that I won't use, and so I thought, well, what am I going to do with these? I hate to see them go to waste. Most of them have been used, gently used, but they are used. They're not brand new. My storage containers, I've got way more bottle cases than I need. Some other various shipping or storage containers that I've bought that I just don't use. Of course, pens, because I'm always getting pens. Just tons of stuff. And so I pulled them all out and I kind of made this big pile in my living room and asked you guys what I should do with it. And I got a lot of great ideas. So thank you so much for everybody that suggested anything. What I decided to do with at least part of it is I'm going to do mystery boxes. Now, I considered getting, like, you can get here in the States, you can get shipping boxes that are flat rate. You fill them up, I think up to 70 pounds, and you can send them anywhere in the lower 48 for a flat rate. I considered doing something like that, but honestly, I don't think I'd ever get to close to the 70 pounds, so it seemed kind of silly to do that. And I thought about doing like a Google Doc and letting people just kind of shop for what they wanted, but that didn't feel right either. So I finally just decided I was going to do the mystery boxes. Someone suggested that. I thought that sounded like a really fun thing. And so I went and scrounged up some boxes. We do a lot of Amazon shopping, as I've mentioned many times. And I tend to hang on to some of the smaller boxes for just like this, times like this. So, you know, stuff that's, the boxes are shoebox size or smaller. And I happened to have 4 of them. So I had 2 that were kind of smaller ones, maybe like 3 by 6, something like that. And then I had a couple of larger ones that are like 8 or 9 by 6, something like that. So I went through and I just stuck a variety of items in them. I'm not going to tell you what's in them. They're mystery boxes. But I did try to make sure there was a nice variety of items. Like, you're not going to, you know, if you got a mystery box, you're not going to get like, you know, 6 different trays and nothing else. So you're not going to get, you know, 6 kinds of stickers and nothing else. I did try to make sure there was a nice variety. Oh, you guys, I just put all these on the wrong one again. See, this is what happens because, well, it's because I'm stressed about this. And I don't know why this is giving me such stress, but it is. Okay, so while I'm picking this off, let me explain everything else. YouTube loves a failure, right? So here you go, YouTube. I failed at sticking these in the right place. So I should just try and scooch some of these because these were supposed to be E's and I put them on 1. Okay, so I loaded up these 4 mystery boxes and here's what I'm going to do. The 2 smaller boxes, I'm asking $3 for the box plus the buyer pays shipping. Again, they're mystery boxes, so I'm not going to tell you what's in them. I think the heaviest one is 3 pounds, but I think the other 3 are like a pound. Whoever emails me first, and you just tell me I want a $3 one or I want a $5 one. So $3 for the small ones and $5 for the larger ones, and you pay the shipping. If you're interested in that, you email me at diamondpaintinganonymous@gmail.com and I will get your information, you send me the money plus whatever the shipping is going to cost. I do use pirate ship, so I do try to get a discount. If you happen to live overseas and you're interested, if you're willing to pay the shipping, I'm certainly willing to send it to you. However, if I send it international, it will be sent via the US Postal Service because I have to fill out a customs form and all of that. And pirate ship does not like me to do that. I don't like to do it that way because when you're talking about international, there's all kinds of codes and stuff that you have to put in there, and I feel better about it making sure it's going to get where it's supposed to go if I send it through the regular post office. So that's what I have right now. I have 2 smaller kits for $3, two mystery boxes for $3, and plus shipping, and 2 larger boxes for $5 plus shipping. So I still have other supplies left, so I will probably have additional boxes eventually. But like I said, we buy a lot of stuff from Amazon, so I'm waiting to kind of collect the right size boxes so that I can put things in them. Because like I said, I'm trying to make it so that there's a nice variety of things, and it's not, oh, here's all the small little cheap stuff that I can fit in this box. Now, nothing that I'm giving away is hugely expensive. I'm not trying to make anyone think that it is, but there is some nice storage and some nice trays and all of that. Just things that, like I said, pretty much everything has been gently used, but I have more than I need, so I don't need them. And again, anything that I get for the boxes, so pretty much the $3 and $5, that's going to be going into my fund to help pay for the shipping costs of all of the stuff for DP for Vets. Because for DP for Vets, I got such nice prices that I'm going to have a couple of kind of big boxes. You know, I told you guys Art Dot was one of the suppliers. They sent me that it's an A1 storage folder, I think. It's kind of big, so I may actually have to send a couple of different packages to the winner. I don't know that I want to send the kits and everything that I have. I can fit all of that kind of stuff in one box. I don't know that I want to send a giant box that I can also fit that storage folder in. So I may ship it in something else. I'm going to be ordering a frame probably for this diamond painting. So my thought was I would take the box from the frame, and maybe that would be big enough for the A1 folder to fit in. Or, you know, maybe we'll order enough stuff from Amazon and I'll get something weird and it'll have a right size box for that. We'll see. So if the first mystery boxes don't interest you, don't worry about it. I will be doing additional ones. You guys, I think that was just some thunder. I thought we were supposed to get ice. Well, I guess maybe if it's going to rain and then turn to ice, but that definitely sounded like thunder. So I think that was everything I wanted to tell you guys. The mystery boxes, I think, was a fun idea. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see how it goes. If I don't get a lot of interest, then maybe I won't do other ones and I'll figure something else out. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. I think that's it for me today. How long have I been talking? Oh, enough. All right. Let me zoom out here. So I managed to get a little bit done. I've got most of this row's finished. This row's finished. I finished my little dragonfly here, even though I put my drill's in the wrong place. Managed to get that fixed, so it's all good to go. This is going to be a lot of multi-placing. That's probably boring to watch anyway, so I'm glad I filled that in. You guys, I'm so super excited about DP for Vets. I hope you are too. Again, a huge thank you to the event sponsors. I will be posting on social media about them and thanking them, but Art Dot, Butterfly Effect Wares, Bella Art, Diamonds, and Creations Morin, who I not mentioned, are all sponsors. Creations Morin, I'm still kind of waiting on theirs. They're in Canada, so stuff hasn't arrived yet, but yeah, super happy with the stuff that Bella Art sent, and super excited, like I said, that the artist is a veteran. That just makes them even more special, and the paintings are awesome, so I can't wait to share that with you guys as well. So like I said, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss when I'm posting the video next week with all the particulars about DP for Vets. I think that's it for me today, guys. I hope you made some progress on your WIP while I chatted. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.